I'll be presenting the miltefosine related keratitis and manage clinical characteristic and management. I have no financial interest and conflict of interest in the subject matter. Introduction: Leishmaniasis is a group of diseases caused by parasitic protozoa of genus Leishmania, and its most common and serious form is Kala Azar. 10 to 20% cases of Kala Azar actually turns to post-Kala Azar dermal leishmaniasis, which is PKDL, and it is characterized by skin rashes and caused by Leishmania donovani. Currently, WHO recommends several drugs for PKDL. However, metformin remains the only oral drug highly effective against PKDL, and its dose is 2.5 milligram per kg body weight for 84 days. It has been considered a safe drug with some uncommon adverse reaction, including gastrointestinal symptoms. There are recently several reports have revealed the serious ocular complications. Though they have highlighted the corneal complication, the clinical impression about the finding of miltefosine-related keratitis has varied among all, from Moran ulcers to scleritis. And little is known about the clinical features of keratitis, its course and management. So in this presentation, we discuss the diagnostic clinical feature, progression and management of miltefosine-related keratitis. We did a retrospective review of the 6 PKDL patients receiving miltefosine and presenting to us between April 2018 and June 2020. The study was approved by Institutional Ethics Committee. The evaluation included complete medical history of those patients, focusing on the drug used to treat Kala Azar and PKDL, dose and documentation of treatment, and onset of keratitis after initiation of therapy was noted, and details of other drugs were also noted which was used for ocular symptoms. We also did a casualty assessment of adverse drug reaction to miltefosine by WHO UNC criteria. We worked up all the patient of keratitis, including the size, location, and pattern of lesion, infiltrates, extent of edema, presence or absence of hypopyon and epithelial defect. We also did a thorough microbiological evaluation of the corneal specimen, including direct smear examination, culture, PCR to rule out Leishmania donovani in the corneal specimens, and RK39 and a skin biopsy for the PKDA. Coming to results of 6 patients receiving miltefosine, case 1 had bilateral keratitis, and he took the miltefosine drug for 48 days, and he continued taking this drug for another 17 days after appearance of symptom. At the time of presentation, both eye had ring infiltrate, and within 2 days, it progressed and involved entire cornea. After getting the negative microbiological results, we started him on oral and topical steroids with antibiotics, and right eye needed therapeutic PK because of presence of corneal thinning. And at the end of 5 months, the left eye improved to a corneal scar with 6/12 vision. Case 2, again bilateral keratitis. He took miltefosine for 35 days, and he continued also the therapy for next 20 days. And at the time of presentation, he had also the ring infiltrate, which very rapidly progressive, and left eye simulating the PUK. Right eye needed therapeutic PK, and left eye resolved with the medical therapy, that is oral and topical prednisolone with antibiotic, and got 6/9 vision. Case 3 to 6 had unilateral keratitis, and the miltefosine intake was varied from 38 days to 65 days, and they all have common sign and symptoms, like the presentation was ring infiltrate with presence of hypopyon or epithelial defect, and the resolution occurred with the similar topical antibiotics and prednisolone from resolution time from 2 to 3 months, and they didn't require any oral drugs. This was a case 5 and 6. So a summary of result is the ocular symptoms were common in all, that is pain, watering, photophobia, diminution of vision. Pattern of keratitis was similar in all the patient, that is ring-shaped, full thickness, paralimbal infiltrate with accompanying edema and hypopyon. 2 patients had bilateral keratitis who continued the therapy even after appearance of ocular symptoms, and 4 cases had unilateral. In laboratory test, all the smear, culture, PCR were negative, but RK39 and skin biopsy for PKDL were positive in all the patients. Management was similar in all the patients. That was the first thing was a discontinuation of miltefosine and initiation of corticosteroid. In casualty assessment, we found the probable association between the miltefosine to the ADR. Coming to discussion, meltefosin is a phosphocholine analog recommended by WHO as the only oral drug for all type of leishmaniasis. Nowadays, this drug is also has been used in acanthamoeba keratitis as an oral form. And contrary to previous reports noting the varied presentation of this entity from Moran's ulcer to scleritis, we found a consistent pattern of keratitis and its course in all the patients receiving meltefosin. And based on our observation, we could divide this entity into early stage and advanced stage. In early stage was recognized with the presence of annular peripheral infiltrate and the presence of intervening clear zone between the limbus and the lesion. In advanced stage, infiltration extend to in circumferentially as well as the centripetally, involving the center and the limbus, and ring ulcer finally turns to ulcerative keratitis. The precise mechanism of keratitis associated with meltefosin remains unclear, but it has been hypothesized that drug might be directly toxic to ocular tissue due to long elimination half-life, and it may be an autoimmune reaction to the drug. So based on our observation and results, we could suggest the management in 4 steps. Number 1, stopping the offending drug, that is meltefosin. Second, excluding the infectious etiology. Third, initiating early anti-inflammatory therapy in form of oral and topical steroid depending upon severity. And 4, deferring penetrating keratoplasty for complicated cases. Limitation of study were retrospective and a small number of patients. This study had a very valuable implication for clinical practice. That is, it is essential to strengthen the pharmacovigilance program in endemic areas which can monitor this serious complication. Patient receiving meltefosin should undergo periodic ocular examination by ophthalmologist. And this study indicates that the prolonged use of meltefosin might cause keratitis that resembles the infectious keratitis. Early diagnosis with discontinuation of drug and initiation of corticosteroid therapy are the key to successful management, and it actually needs a further research based on this role of meltefosin and its complications. This is my references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rakhi, for your presentation. I request the judges to take over.
Yeah, another very interesting presentation, Dr. Rakhi. And just one query. Is there any study to depict the incidence of keratitis associated with meltefosin? I mean,
there are 4 studies documented, 2 in 2018 and 2 in 2019. I showed in my slide, the one from the India, from the Kolkata, and 2 from the Bangladesh. And all have documented that this condition is unilateral, and some of them presented it as a Moran's ulcer, some of them presented it as a temporal corneal infiltrate, and some of them presented it as a scleritis. But in our study, we found a very consistent pattern of keratitis in all the 7 eyes, and we first time reported this it as a bilateral keratitis. Nobody has documented it can be bilateral, but we concluded that if patient continued taking this drug for long, even after appearance of ocular symptom, then it can convert to bilateral keratitis, and it may be more advanced and severe that may need penetrating keratoplasty.
Right. Thank you.
So, hi, sir.
Very nice presentation. Bihar, especially in perspective of Bihar, Hajipur, Muzaffarpur, Sitamarhi, and the Ganga all are endemic zone for this visceral leishmaniasis, and this meltefosin is a very important drug. Now, do you have any message for the general physicians or the persons who are treating with tropical medicine for take-home message which you want to give, that at what interval they should refer such patients to ophthalmologist? Do you have any have you ever tried to contact such persons? There is one Kala-Azar center at Muzaffarpur, very popular, and it is adopted by WHO also. So what is your take-home message in this context?
Exactly, sir. So 3 patients out of 6 patients, 3 patients were from Muzaffarpur Kala-Azar center. And I would say that these kind of miltefosine is actually advisable for the Kala Azar, visceral leishmaniasis, as well as this skin disorder. But according to my study, if you see that up to 1 month, it doesn't cause any harm, because all of these patients which I included in my study had also undergone for miltefosine treatment for visceral leishmaniasis. But at that time, they didn't develop any symptom in the eye. So I can say now that till 1 month, 30 days, they don't get any complaint or they don't get any side effect of miltefosine. So after 30 days, particularly for this PKDL treatment, patient should be examined by some ophthalmologist or screened by some non-ophthalmologist also for congestion, redness, foreign body, or any infiltrate or any white opacities in the cornea. So I would suggest that the pharmacovigilance should be very strong. Everybody should be taught about the detection of the disease, white appearance of the cornea. And this has a very peculiar appearance, that is a ring infiltrate, even in the early stages. So everybody should know this complication, because this miltefosine is one of the very commonest drug used for PKDL and Kala Azar, which is very, very endemic in our state.
It is also very important that you see the treatment of Kala Azar goes on for years and years, 2 to 3 years. So, do you suggest the physician lot that you have to switch over to some other drug, pentamidine, fungizone, or anything else for the treatment of Kala Azar?
Yes, sir. If patient develop reaction to this offending drug miltefosine, then definitely they should be switched to other drug like sodium stibogluconate or amphotericin, and there are some newer drugs also coming in a combination therapy, so they can go for that. But they should be able to recognize the situation in a very early stage. Otherwise, patient may lose his vision. Like in our cases, 2 patients have lose vision in one eye and undergone for PK. And if the early treatment is given to these patients, you can actually recover the complete visual acuity, 6/6 or 6/9, if the treatment is given very early, in a very early stage.
Thank you.
Dr. Love, please.
Excellent presentation, Dr. Rakhi. 2 questions. One is, who stopped the medication? It was done by you or the physician? And second, what was the final visual outcome of all these patients?
First question, in 2 patients in bilateral keratitis, the patient had continued the therapy till he presented to us. In those 2 cases, we stopped the therapy, and other 4 unilateral cases, as they get some problem in their eyes, 2 of them just stopped the drug themselves and presented to us, and 2 of them came to us, and then we stopped the drug.
And how was the final visual outcome in these patients?
Sir, in bilateral keratitis, the left eye, in bilateral keratitis, the right eye was operated for PK in both the patients. And left eye, first patient got 6/12 vision at the end of 5 months. And second patient got 6/9 vision at the end of 4.5 months. And rest 4 unilateral keratitis cases, they got 6/9 to 6/6 vision at the end of 3 months.
Scientific? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Dr. Rakhi. Reverting back to Dr. Asif, please.